So today we are going to make the Adam Project Lightsaber. Not a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber, dude. So cut yourself a cardboard tube a little under 3 inches. And then you want to cut some rectangles out of the sides using a utility knife or a pair of scissors. I used both. So you end up with 3 evenly spaced rectangles. And then give the whole thing a coating of white school glue. And then once the glue is dry, paint the entire thing metallic black. This is just acrylic paint, but it's got a slightly metallic sheen to it. So then I found this cool holographic vinyl stuff, and I took 2 pieces and I put them wrong sides together. And then I put them inside of a piece of paper, and then I ironed them to fuse the 2 together. Now if you're wondering what this thing is, this is an old-fashioned antique iron, the kind that you used to heat up on the wood stove and do it. And since I have a wood stove, this is what I use. So it saves energy and works really well. So once I'd had those 2 pieces fused together, I cut some rectangles out of those. And I made them just a little bit bigger than the rectangles in my little cardboard cylinders. Then I put some glue along the edges, and you can't use hot glue for this because I don't think it'll stick to the vinyl real well, so I used multi-surface glue. Then I just stuck one of those rectangles in each of the openings in the cylinder. So there they are, and they're cool because they catch the light. They're reflective and iridescent. And they're also slightly transparent, so it really makes them look like they're glowing. Then I took some 5mm foam, and I just wiggled one of the cylinders on that to get the indentation. You can barely see it on the camera, but it's there. And then I just cut slightly to the inside of that with a pair of scissors, so that will fit right inside the cylinder end. But not yet. First I took some old markers, because why would I throw out markers that don't work anymore? Of course I save them. And one person's trash is another person's lightsaber. So just take the tops, or you can also use cardboard tubes if you don't have, spent markers like I do. But just take them, and you want to wiggle them so that you get the indentations. And if you are using something solid like markers, you can just cut all the way through them and pop the little pieces right out of the center. That should fit right around the top, just like that. So I'm using that same glue, because again, hot glue won't stick as well to the plastic. Just shove the glued marker top right into the hole there. And then put a little bit of glue around the outside of the foam, and stick that right in the end of the cylinder. And then take a little curved piece of cardstock, and you're going to wrap that right around so that it makes kind of an angle. Glue that in place, it makes a little angle on the end there. You'll do that to both of your cylinders. And then just paint those with that same black. I didn't bother doing any glue paint on the cardstock because it usually holds paint pretty well. Then cut 2 more 5mm craft foam circles with holes in the center, and the holes should fit the other end of the marker tops this time. And then take a piece of tube about 5 inches long and stick those foam circles on the ends, glue them in place, and then paint the entire thing black. And then put a little bit of glue in the ends of those now black foam holes. If you have black foam, it works easier, but all I had was white, so just slide little marker ends in. You want to leave just a little bit of the marker end showing on each of these little cylinders. So this is the hilt. You can see that holographic foil really catches the light and makes it look like it's glowing. And now because of the shape of this, you can actually put blades in the end of this hilt. So take a large piece of white paper, the length of your desired blade length, roll it up and tape it in place. And you can run string lights through these and light them up, with a little battery pack. And, that looks pretty cool when you turn off the lights. But it can get really heavy, and you can't really see it lit up in the day. So what I did instead was I just took some purple tissue paper. You could also use more of that holographic stuff for the blades, but the tissue paper is quite a bit cheaper, so I just used the tissue paper on something this big. It's easier to work with, too. So I just rolled that up and taped that in place, and when the light hits it, because the white tube is under there, it does kind of look like it's glowing almost. Not as good as the lit up one, obviously, but a lot lighter. Then I just put the little craft foam black marks down the edges, pop some magnets on either side of the end of the tube, and then glued some matching magnets on the inside of the hilt so that when I slide the magnets, the end with the magnets of the blade in there, it'll match up with the magnets inside, and it'll just hold it in place. And so here is the entire lightsaber. I don't have a lot of good light and a spot big enough to show this. It's kind of hard to show the entire thing on my camera here, but this is essentially what it looks like. And when you get yours made, make sure you remember to do superhero landing.